It's the Full-Time Devils Takeover. It is Thursday night. It is 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. and we're here to talk all things United for an hour. So I'll get the kettle on, sit down, listen to two legends that are opposite me, Andy Tate and Darren Webb. Webby, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, Joe. I'm fine.
And Andy Tate.
Good evening.
Are you doing well, Andy?
I'm doing good, mate. Come back from an holiday.
Oh, you had a good holiday. On today's show, we're going to be talking mainly about managers in the first section. There's a lot of stories floating around that connect to United and managers. We're talking about Paul Scholes and what happened if Sir Alex Ferguson would have promised the Tottenham deal and what would have happened if he actually went. 0345 111 7625 to have your say tonight. Get involved in the show. And a little quiz question that we're going to be running throughout the show for you to get involved with. Which player for Manchester United has scored the most off the bench? It is a good one today, and it is one you've already had a dig at. Don't say who your answer is yet, but you've already had a little go at it. I can tell you, you're wrong. So whatever you two just said, and the listeners at home will probably say it straight away, that person is not the top answer. 0345 111 7625. I did say we're going to be speaking about managers, so let's get to one of the headlines that is floating around now, and that Paul Scholes has been apparently interviewed for the Oldham job. Now, we know what Paul Scholes is like, absolute legend, United legend. Now moving into sort of managerial, or could be moving into a managerial role. Initial thoughts when you heard that story?
Yeah, not shocked really. Loves Oldham, common knowledge. There was always talk he was going to go there, finishing his playing career, maybe a season towards the end of his career at United. My only thing is they've got to be back money-wise, because obviously I can't see Scholes going in there, because you can see the current problems they have. The players didn't get paid again, so Scholes is not going to go in there. But he wants to start off managing, and for him, there's no better club to do it. So if he does take it, I wish him all the best.
He isn't going in at the top, which players such as Roy Keane did when he was starting managing.
Paul Ince, etc. Yeah.
Shearer did as well, which obviously didn't end up well. You can see it, Andy, as being a good move. Ease him in to the managerial life.
Yeah, give it him. It would be beneficial for both parties. Like I say, give it him till the end of the season.
Yeah. Give it what, sorry?
Give it Scholes till the end of the season.
You heard it first.
It's a step on the ladder. He's got his badges, and he loves Oldham.
0345 111 7625. Talking then about managers, looking at the person who is currently in charge of Manchester United. Two cups last year, now doing successfully in the league, up there in second, only on goal difference, stopping us from being top. Reports suggesting that United are going to offer him a very large sum of money to stay for longer. Now, what do you make of that? Do you think it's good? Because Mourinho hasn't stayed at a club for that long, has he?
But he knows this is a club made for him. You know, He should have been there. It should have been done when Fergie retired. We wasted 3 years in the wilderness. We won one FA Cup.
Agreed.
We sacked two managers who wasn't big enough for the club. Now, you always remember Jose's first press conference, and he went, it's like he'd been there 10 years, you know. And you can see it now. He loves the club. He knows how big it is. And for me, give him 5 years. Give him another 5 years. It's not going to be there as long as Fergie. That's gone now.
It's one off.
Once Wenger goes, you're going to get managers maybe 6 years top. I'd give him another contract now, 4 or 5 years all day long, because he knows what the club means, you know, and that's what we missed for 3 years once Fergie left. Now, there's no disrespect to Moyes or Van Gaal. Moyes, the club was too big for him. Van Gaal, you say to me, was an 80s manager. You know, if someone said to me, Louis Van Gaal, I say, a great 80s manager. Yeah. Totally out of it. Would rather keep the ball and keep us bored in our seats. But Jose knows the score. He knows how big United is. And whatever they give him, I 100% back the manager.
Yeah, Andy?
Yeah, just let him sign the contracts and just give it him and just get on with the football. Because he's worth every penny.
What was the story you were telling me?
I was just getting ready before. I had a radio station on it. It was a gentleman who's done a book about Spurs, and I think Keith Birkinshaw was the manager at the time. He'd just won the UEFA Cup, and he'd hit a bad spell, and obviously they'd realised that Alex Ferguson had won the Cup Winners' Cup with Aberdeen against Madrid, which was still one of the greatest shocks in European football history. Yeah. They met up, agreed a deal with Irving Scholes, shook hands on it. It just never happened. So how lucky are we that we never, because in 84, 85, we could have lost our greatest manager to Tottenham, but it never happened, and he come down to us in 86, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Can you imagine Fergie at Tottenham?
No. I remember when Ron Atkinson was sacked, and it was like, I was only about 10, and I'm asking Dad, what's happening? And he couldn't give me any answers. Then like a couple of days later, with 48 hours, Martin Edwards gets Alex Ferguson, and the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah. At the time, for people who may not be sort of old enough, when Fergie first arrived, was he a good signing for United at the time? Were you excited as a United fan when he first arrived?
To be honest, no, because obviously we'd seen what happened in Scotland, but no disrespect to Scotland, there wasn't that many great teams, and he struggled at first. You know, the crowds were going down, and I always remember getting beat by Crystal Palace 2-1, and the famous banner coming out to our Fergie. And I always remember got Nottingham Forest away in the third round of the FA Cup with the lads. There was 7,000-8,000 United fans there. They're one of the best away ends I've ever been in. And we called it on the way up there, Fergie's funeral. Because if he would have got beat, whatever Martin Edwards said, I think they would have sacked him. And every round we went through that year was away at Hereford, away at Newcastle,
Sheffield
away at Sheffield United, McClare the winner.
Yeah.
And then beating Oldham in the semi-final, then winning the cup. And then, like you're saying, the rest is history. It's marching on. Yeah. But obviously at the time, the football wasn't great, but we stuck with him. We had some hard times. Like, a lot of people don't remember the bad times under Fergie if they're not old enough. There was bad times, but we stuck with it. And like you're saying, look at all the pots, what he brought to the club.
Coming up on the show, we've got the Liverpool mascot. The mascot feature is back, and it's an absolute belting one this week. And also, I want you to answer my question today. The player to come off the bench and score the most Premier League goals for Manchester United. It's your turn to have your say. Get in touch now, 0345 111 7625. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about managers. Let us know what you think about players, about Liverpool on the weekend. And we should have, for the first time ever, a unique Skype call. Now, I'm hoping this sort of works. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yay! And Scott, you're live on Excess Manchester. Thank you very much for being our first Skype caller. We want to ask you a bit of a question then. What would you like to talk about today then, Scott? Is it the Liverpool game you're looking forward to?
Absolutely. And the funny tweet they put out about our weak link, Valencia.
Yeah, what do you make about that?
I didn't realise that the probably the best right back in Europe was a weak link, but I couldn't stop laughing, to be honest. I mean, for me, their whole team is a weak link.
Their defence is a weak link.
They're playing mind games.
This is the first game I'm really confident about. Really, really confident.
I know, but are you worried then that this confidence might turn into something unfortunate, that Liverpool might, you never know, get a sneaky win somewhere?
No.
Not at all?
No. I think it's going to be... I've got a feeling we'll have one of those humiliation things where we can hold it against them.
Yeah. What an absolute battering.
I'd set 1-0 now.
Same here.
No, obviously you take 1-0, but I just think we've got a fresh Marshall. Lukaku's on fire.
Who's key for the win then in the United squad?
Marshall this weekend.
Yeah, you starting him?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, he's had a 2-week rest?
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be on fire, and he loves Liverpool. So
we always called it Wanfield. You see Mata making an appearance?
I would have thought so, because again, he hasn't played any international football, if I'm right.
Yeah, you are right with that.
So he needs just to play the fresh players. But I'm looking forward to Matic versus Coutinho. I think that'll be a great matchup. But Matic for me all day long is going to...
We was talking, who would you go left back Saturday? I'd go Young. I'd go Young Saturday. I know people were saying, obviously, the biggest blow for them is the kid Mane out. I can see him going for Young. Obviously, no international football. Blin's played a couple of games for Holland. Darmian could come in and fit in there, but if Darmian comes in, we're going more defensive minded now. So I think he will go for Young at left back. I may be wrong, but I think he'll go Young left back.
Do you agree,
He's playing really well. He's playing really well. I can't knock him. I mean, I'm not a fan of Young as a full back at all, but he's playing really well lately.
Look at the way we played last season at Anfield. The way he played it. I think it'll be something like that as well.
Who's Liverpool's greatest threat then for you, Scott?
Coutinho.
Is he the only one?
Like I said, I think he's up against an absolute mountain in Matic, and I can't see him doing anything in the game. I mean, I'm not remotely worried about Firmino. If Sturridge plays, will he last? I think our defence is solid. I'm not really worried about, like I said, Liverpool at all. And they have Henderson, so there's got to be a comedy of errors there.
Another one to talk about is, it's obviously been rubbished over the last couple of days, but let's just get your opinion of it as two fans that go to many games. Is the Christmas Eve TV deal that was going on. As someone who travels to obviously follow United home and away, is it something? What would you make of it, Webby? If someone said to you, right, United are away on Christmas Eve, 4 p.m. kickoff.
You've got what kickoff?
A 4 p.m. kickoff.
Well, hopefully the Premiership, they've done it a few years back, didn't they, where they try to play local teams. We played Bolton and Blackburn over the Christmas period. City played someone, and then they sent City to Newcastle on New Year's Eve. You know, that was great. Would it go? Yeah. Would it go? 4 o'clock Leicester? Yeah, definitely go, yeah. And have a Christmas party on the way home as long as it's before midnight.
Depends if we win. Andy, what do you make of all that?
I think it's wrong. Christmas is time for your family. I remember a few years ago where United v Everton was selected for Christmas Eve, and Alex Ferguson allegedly said, no chance.
No chance.
Yeah,
and he was thinking of the fans.
We can't complain too much. The clubs have had all this money. You know, the 3 o'clock kickoffs is a thing in the past now. We might get 1 or 2 or 3.
No, but this travel, how you getting back? The last train's like 8 o'clock at night. How you get back to Manchester?
You look at last year, Manchester United versus Southampton on a Friday night for their fans. So it's a day off work. They don't care about the
they don't care. No, they don't.
We've got to play when they say. Used to play Christmas Day years ago.
I know.
Yeah, that's
a guy called Toby on the line. Toby, you there?
Yeah, I am.
How you doing, Toby? You okay?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you.
What question do you want to put to the guys?
Well, I heard someone talking about Mesut Ozil earlier. I just find it interesting that we talk about signing, a new attacking midfielder when we've got Pereira, who's sitting in the Spanish league with perhaps even more potential than Ozil's ever had, and we're not using him or even having him in Manchester with us. I don't really understand.
For you, do you bring him back to Old Trafford? Do you play him?
100%. 100%. We have a midfield that's got quite a few injuries at the moment with Fellaini and Pogba. There's a gap to fill, and we're looking to sign someone else when we've got someone that could be playing. I'm not really sure. I understand why he's doing that.
That was his choice, wasn't it, to go? Obviously, I can understand the kid's choice to go to Valencia to get game time. Can't fault him. He wants to play the game. Come on leaps and bounds with his last year loan spell in Spain. But for me, I think he should have stayed. I think Jose was a bit upset that he could have played in the League Cup and then made a statement for the team regarding Ozil. Now, for me, in a good team, when it's the sun shining, you're winning 2-0, he stands out. When it's raining and you're 1-0 down, he'll hide. But with a techie for free all day long. But you're spotting about Pereira. I hope he has a great season and comes back. And then it's going to be hard for the manager not to include him in the 16.
The mistake or the something that you don't want to happen again is that we let Pereira go and we end up spending ridiculous money for him again.
Yeah.
And could you see, does that worry you as a United fan?
Definitely after Pogba, yeah. And the fact that he's wanted to go away maybe hints at that already, but I think he's ready to play.
Have your say on United versus Liverpool. Who do you think is going to win? Who are the key men for Manchester United? And also give us the answer to the question that Andy Tate and Webby are kicking themselves about. The player to come off the bench and score the most goals for United. We'll give you the clue that the guys have had. They are still in the Premier League. Get in touch now, 87711. Text us your answer and your name, and we'll give you a big shout out at the back end of the show. 87711. The player who has scored the most goals off the bench for Manchester United, and he's still playing in the Premier League. What more do you want? Webby, it's time for a bit of a moan. Now, it's a moan I think this week we can all relate to.
Yeah, I'm going to international football again. And the Belgian manager, it was me who actually rang it up, Roberto. It wasn't Jose, it was me. I got your number. It was me who was ringing it 3 in the morning. I never thought I'd say this, but we are going to miss that Fellaini so much at Anfield on Saturday. I never thought I'd say that in my life. And Belgium have already qualified. They don't need to play him. Then I see the next game, he's bringing Lukaku on when they free up. You know, is he just trying to get a death wish off Oldham and all United fans? What's he playing at, you know? And I just don't... And then, obviously, De Bruyne had mentioned before the pitch was terrible. And then we get the injury, which, obviously, we're looking at he's only out for 2 weeks. It could be 2 months. It could have been a full season.
It could have been a lot, couldn't it?
But it's like, if I understand, if they needed to win to qualify, they'd already qualified now. Can you imagine him doing that on the Fergie? Do you think Roberto Martinez would still be alive? Fergie would have had him caught. And I just think that we've got to be stronger. Obviously, with these friendlies coming up, he's going to do the same again. But the last 2 games, it could have cost us a player who's been playing well for us for a decent part of the season, and he's out of order, and that's my moan.
Thank you very much to Russ in Bury, who's texted us in. He mentions that Matic is key for Saturday, and also does something that the 2 lads in the studio couldn't do, and send me the correct answer to the question.
He's been giggling at home, that's why.
87711, right. And what Russ is talking about on Saturday is a little game between United and Liverpool. We say little, biggest game in the world is happening this weekend. On the Full-Time Devils Takeover on XS Manchester, we like to call up the mascot of the game United are playing on the weekend. This happens to be a mascot from the Mighty Red. That's his name.
What's he called?
The Mighty Red.
That's what he's called. Dust Cap or something. Something like, no. I still can't get over that Stoke one. That's
have a listen to this. This is, I had a little chat with the Mighty Red earlier on in the day, and this is how it sounded. Are you alright there? Good evening.
Saturday, you're alright, lad.
How are you doing, Mighty Red?
Yeah, doing alright, man. Just chilling and that, you know, just on my day off, having a couple of beers and that with the boys.
Are you ready for the weekend then, the Mighty Red? Are you nervous?
We got Coutinho, Barcelona interested. Doesn't even matter. He'll score a goal against us. Firmino, little tap in. Salah with his little tap ins he does. He can't even score a goal from that far out, but he'll get another tap in.
You're confident then, the Mighty Red. You're confident. Let's talk about when you go on the pitch dressed as the Mighty Red. What feelings do you have? You know, it's a big occasion for you.
I sit there and I think, you know what? I'm not walking alone. I'm chilling with all the Liverpool fans.
Did it take a lot of practice to get you to be the best mascot you can be?
Nah, I just turned up, knew what I was doing. I was just going, do you know what? Get the spy on cop on board.
So when you're out there on the pitch doing your things, what happens if you need a wee?
I just wee everywhere. I just do it. We have like a nice little capsule in the suit.
Tell us then about your sort of career highlight. Do you have a memory of being a mascot where it's just like, oh, that was a great day?
It was when Peter Crouch scored. For the first time.
Oh, was it?
When Peter Crouch scored.
Yeah.
For the first time, against Wigan. He like booted the ball and it went over Mike Pollard's head, and I went, you know what? I'm here to stay.
So then let's talk about the weekend. A prediction for the weekend. You're very confident. Would you have a score prediction you can give us?
1-0 to Man United.
Oh, right, okay. There we go. Mighty Red, enjoy the rest of your day.
Go on, you too, mate. See you later.
So, after all that confidence, he said you didn't want 1-0 to Manchester United.
What is he on?
Hey, well, he thinks United are going to get the win on the weekend. That was the Mighty Red. Thank you very much for giving your time there.
Do you know what? I thought that Stoke one, but that has just topped it. Unbelievable. I'm speechless.
Andy, let's just move on then. Cool. We've only got about 5 minutes left to trail ahead to United against Liverpool. It is obviously going to be an incredible game. There isn't that much stature to it, or we think there's not much stature to it, judging by how not Paul, but how disappointing maybe Liverpool fans have been this season. They're not up there with the elite at the moment, are they?
No, they're not up there. I mean, they thought they were there when they spanked Arsenal, didn't they?
Yeah.
Then they brought back down to earth the Etihad, but they stumbling in Europe as well. So got knocked out League Cup. So it is a must win for them. But I don't see anything else other than the United win. I'm quietly confident, and we will go there and get a result, even if it's a 1-0. I don't see us losing. No.
What do you
think?
Don't.
I think I heard someone say the other day, and I can't stop laughing. Celtic and Rangers is the biggest game in Britain now. The biggest game in Britain, the world, is Manchester United versus Liverpool.
Agreed.
Either at Old Trafford or at Anfield. The two most successful clubs in English history. If they're bottom of the league and we're top, they'll still give us an hard game. I'm expecting a really hard game Saturday. Do I think we'll win? We'll win, yes. Do I think it'll be hard? Yeah. We've just got to go there and play our game. Now, last year I went to the league game. It was 0-0. It was boring at Anfield. Jose done a job. I don't think he'll go in that state of mind this year because of Liverpool frailties at the back. I think if we attack and Martial plays and he goes for Rashford, he's brave, we could come out with there 3 or 4. Joe.
Yeah, it could be an absolute.
That would be nice.
Do you see, obviously, when City went and obviously walked all over him, do you see that we need to make a bit of a statement like that?
Sorry, I look at that, but if you look at that game, before City scored, they had 3 one-on-one chances, Liverpool.
Yeah, before the sending off.
They had chances to go in front. So if you've not watched the game, you see the 5-0, you think, walkover. Once the kid got sent off, City scored 2 late first half goals. Yeah. But before that, Liverpool was actually bossing the game, you know. So it is going to be an hard game. We should spend that first 10-15 minutes, what they'll throw at us. Then we get to our game, we pick them off on the break. And like you're saying, if Jose's brave, like I'm going to be brave, I'm going to go for 3 or 4.
There's a lot on the line, Andy, especially for fans as well. We give each other a stick.
Yeah, it's always been Liverpool. Always, City fans can say all they want, but it's always been Liverpool with United, and City's just City to me. Yeah. That's it. It's going through the 80s, 90s, that's it. It's Liverpool all the way.
Liverpool destroyed my childhood as a kid. It was terrible because there was a great team. Yeah. My hands up, they were winning everything. I always remember that year when we won the first 9 games and people blamed it on Robbo getting injured and Big Ron changing the team, but people forget Liverpool had won 8 out of 10. We'd won 9, so there was only like 2 points behind us.
Yeah, we went to Sheffield Wednesday and lost 1-0. Lee Chapman scored. I was there, I remember that.
And then from that on, the fire still burns. Is it important for Liverpool not to drop down a bit? Do we still want them sort of fighting with us?
Of course you do. They're our biggest rivals. They always will be. Forever people going about City, Chelsea. Never, it's Liverpool for me. It always will be. Yeah. But they had their chance of winning the league the other year to get us one back to us.
Slipped on it.
They messed up. And for me, they've gone backwards. They've gone backwards, Liverpool, because at that time, with the front line they had, they were a force, but for me they've gone backwards. And obviously a big blow for them was not getting the kid from Southampton. I think they marked that to sort their defence out. It never happened, and now they're struggling at the back, and we've got to build on that. We've got to attack that with pace. We will destroy them Saturday.
Yeah, 100%. So let's get into the gritty of it. We had Scott earlier on Skype who said that it's Martial for him who will get on the team sheet, will lead the sort of front line in the way because obviously he's had 2 weeks off. Do you agree? Do you stick Martial up there?
You've got to do, man. You know, it was a great thing. I said it the other week on here. Did the champs? My hat goes off to you to give the kid a 2-week break. He's got his feet up at home. Let him go. Martial thrives on confidence now. He's come back a different player. Jose's publicly had a go at him. And for me, I think the players he has a go at publicly, he really likes them. You know, I wish Shaw would take some of this on, because Shaw could be one of the best left-backs in the world if he got his head on. I know he had a bad injury. So, Martial, I'd love him to play Martial on one side and Rashford on the other. Just go at him with pace.
So what are we thinking then? You mentioned that you take a 1-0 win, but do you see more goals, Andy?
Oh, definitely. If Webby says if he plays Martial and Rashford, we can destroy them. I mean, they're defensively, they're not very good. You will get chances at Anfield. Yeah. And who else do you want? Martial and Rashford on the end of him. I think Mkhitaryan might get a couple as well. Do
you put a scoreline on it? Because everyone loves a prediction.
3-1.
3-1 there from Webby.
I'll take 1-0, but 2-0.
2-0. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You've been a pleasure to spend an hour with talking all things Manchester United. If you've only just tuned in, you want the podcast, that'll be up in about 20 minutes. Just find us on the podcast sites. Search X's Manchester Football Social. And this video will be live on YouTube tomorrow. Search Full Time Devils and subscribe.